Alright, on this episode of Daily Driving and Fummins, we're going to deal with air conditioning because I got a brand new air conditioning system, replaced every single component, and had it professionally charged, vacuumed, then charged, whatever they do. And when I'm driving 80 miles an hour, it blows cold. And when it's shady out, it blows cold. But when it's hot out and I'm sitting still, it stops blowing cold. So I'm determined to figure out why and make it work better. I have a theory. My first theory is that since I no longer have a fan shroud pulling air through the radiator, there's no longer air being pulled through the condenser. So I'm going to get a laser pointer temperature dealy and I'm going to find out how hot my condenser's getting. And I'm going to make a decision from there on what I do first. Let's see if I'm right. So right now the concrete's about 28 degrees. My condenser's getting up to like 50, 51, 52. And it's still blowing cold, but it's still getting hotter, so. $60. So it's not blowing super cold anymore. I think as the condenser is getting saturated and not getting cooled off, this temperature is going to keep rising. So we'll see what happens here. Yep, just getting hotter and hotter, it looks like. Doesn't even really feel cold anymore, so I think that confirms my theory. Now I gotta figure out what's causing it. Well, my first theory about why my air conditioning is not working great is because I don't have a fan shroud on this radiator. So I don't think the fan's really pulling much air, and it would have to pull air through the radiator and the intercooler and the transmission cooler and the condenser. And so I just don't think the condenser is getting enough airflow. And when I'm going 80 miles an hour, it's getting more airflow, so it works. However, I am not an air conditioning expert, and this is a theory, so I could be wrong, and we're going to find out. So what I did was I bought an electric fan to put on the condenser. And it's a nice 17-inch, 180 watt, 3000 CFM fan. So I got to figure out how I'm going to mount that sucker on there and get some airflow through the condenser. And then we'll see how the air conditioning works. Here we go. looks like she's gonna fit. She hits that grill support, but that makes it sit nice and level, so I think that'll actually work out really well. It's a rather big condenser, so that's definitely not covering most of it. In fact, I probably could have put 2 fans on it, but we're gonna start with 1, see if it even makes a difference. Since this sits in here so nicely, I can go ahead and just give it a test and see if it helps. And if it doesn't help, I don't have to worry about bolting it in. Oh boy, does that make a difference. This thing's blowing pretty cold. About 10 degrees Celsius drop just from putting that fan on there. So now I guess I got to build a permanent mount for it and figure out how to put a relay on it and make it turn on automatically when the AC's on. And yeah, what an improvement. Holy cow. It's only 28 Celsius out, so the real test will be when it gets up to 35. But for now, I'll take it. Nope, she makes a big difference. So I just kind of put her in there with some zip ties for now, and I'll have to build some kind of a bracket for it because I don't want to put the little things through my condenser. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do for a bracket. It's got 4 of these tabs, and I'll probably build something that comes up and bolts on here, or I don't know. I'm going to let it roll around in my brain for a while because the zip ties will work for now. Not a good permanent solution, but what I do need to get done is the wiring. So I'm running from my distribution block over there. And I got a relay, and I'm going to put the relay on this stud for now, and then sometime in the future when I do my electric fan conversion, I'm going to build a shroud and bolt all the fans to it, and then I'm going to move it to that shroud somehow because I'll have relays for those fans too. So for now it can just sit on that stud. And then in this group of wires over here, there is a purple one, and I think it's this one right here. And when you turn the air conditioning on, that wire gets 12 volts. So I gotta tee off of that wire to turn the relay on. Then I'll have better air conditioning. All right, moment of truth. When I switch just to AC, we should hear a fan. And there it is. And she's working. Well, she's definitely working better, but I don't think it's working as well as it can. So the condenser fan is definitely a step in the right direction, but I have to keep doing some more research and figuring out what else I can do to make this air conditioning work better, because let me tell you, I do not handle heat well. So see you in the next one.